Now that it's spring, animals are becoming active and visible, and that includes snakes. Brandy Campbell takes an in-depth look at snake season and what types you need to be aware of here in the Arklatex.
That's the sound of a rattlesnake, one you need to look out for during this time of year.
If we have a warm day, if it gets above their brumation temperature, snakes will start moving.
And now, most days are warm.
A lot of times people find them in their homes or around their homes because they're out looking for food.
Here, the weather doesn't get cold enough for true hibernation, so brumation is what our snakes go through, slowing them down until now.
When the weather starts to warm up or if it starts raining, sometimes the rain can float them out of any holes that they're in. And so that's why people think it's snake season, quote unquote.
Steve is a Shreveport local, firefighter and advanced EMT. He's also owner of the Snaketuary.
Got a call at a gas station. She said it was a 10-foot snake.
If somebody finds a snake in their home or their business, they can call us or text us and we can come out and we can get that snake. That way it doesn't put the person in danger.
Right now, Steve is holding a rat snake.
These guys are the most common that we have in this area.
It's right in front of our face. Check it out. It's just a rat snake. Of course, definitely not 10 feet, but just a rat snake.
That one is non-venomous, similar to this boa constrictor, which is not native to Louisiana. The rat snake wraps around prey like rodents and rabbits, finding its next meal.
They could be grays, browns, blacks. These guys can get quite large.
He says rat snakes are often misidentified. Steve told me about some venomous snakes that people should be aware of in the Arklatex.
That's a copperhead.
They are commonly found in our area.
Most of the time, 99% of the time, they have the classic, it looks like Hershey Kisses down the side of his body.
Oh, yeah.
Or if you look at it from the top, it looks like an hourglass.
He says they like to hide in leaves. Sometimes people come across them as they rake.
Yeah, you see his tail right there behind his head?
Yeah.
That's a canebrake or a timber rattlesnake. These guys tend to puff up their body to appear bigger.
And that's kind of a defense mechanism. You can kind of tell he's puffing his body up here because you can see the separation between the scales.
He says some people think you can tell their age by the rattles, but sometimes they actually break off.
This is a water moccasin or cottonmouth.
Okay.
The reason they're called cottonmouths is because when they open their mouths, it's white as cotton. Wow. That's how it gets that nickname. I've had some people think that cottonmouths and water moccasins are two different snakes, but they're actually the same kind of snake.
People often misidentify snakes as water moccasins. According to Steve, it's common for people to assume that yellow-bellied, diamondbacks, and banded water snakes are water moccasins, but they're non-venomous. The last, it's the coral snake.
Which are the red, yellow, and black most of the time.
In the end, he says,
if you don't know what you're dealing with, the best thing to do is leave it alone.
For Steve, he's always been into snakes.
Since I was real little. Of course, my parents hated it. But then when I got married, my wife was real supportive.
She let him have a snake, and now, well, his love for them has turned into a business.
Well, you can keep all of them away from me. Kennedy says they don't charge for their services, but they do accept donations that go toward the care of snakes. He also sells snake-themed hot sauce. We have a link to his site on KTBS.com. So what do you do if you get bit by a snake? Well, Kennedy says stay calm, get to a hospital as soon as you can, and then lay flat if possible. Also, treat all bites as if they're venomous if you aren't sure.